This time we don't know the required rate of return. So we're going to go to this cell, and from the note tells you what to do anyway. Go to this drop down box, pick what you don't know, required rate of return, and enter the market value given by the problem, 41, and it tells you that required rate of return is going to be 9.0073. Structure wise, this is not too much different from finding the yield to maturity for the bonds, right? Okay, let's do. All right. For the company in the previous problem, what is the dividend yield and what is the expected capital gains yield? I don't think I calculate dividend yield here, but dividend yield is simple. Next year's dividend divided by price. So 193 divided by, what happened here? 41. In fact, I didn't even have to pick. So that's 4.71%. And capital gains yield is basically equal to the growth rate. You don't even have to calculate it. Okay, this is a similar problem. Oh, all right, this is actually a good one. Let me copy these. Okay, problem 6. We know the company's stock price, 87. Required return on the stock is 10.5. Uh, you know that total return on the stock is evenly divided by capital gains and dividend yield. If the company's policy is to always maintain a constant growth rate, what is the current dividend per share? Uh, for this, we're going to use required rate is always equal to dividend yield plus growth rate. Okay. So if evenly divided, and I'm gonna use R for the required rate of return. Uh, growth rate is equal to R over 2, which is 10.5. 5.25%. What we don't know is what is the current dividend per share. Okay. All right, let's go. This time I'm gonna find for year one dividend. We're gonna go back to year zero dividend later, but first, given the parameters, let's find the year one dividend. It trades at 87, 10.5%, 5.25%. So that's year one dividend. Okay. Uh, Using template, we find that year one dividend is 457, or let's call this D0, D1, I'm sorry. And D0 is going to be D1 divided by 1 plus G, hence 457 divided by 1 plus 5.25%. It's basically 434. In the exam, pay attention to these details. Sometimes I'll be asking you year one dividend, sometimes year zero dividend. Okay. But if you know year one dividend and the growth, you can always go to year zero, just like we did here. Next one. Oh, okay. This one is interesting. This company pays a constant 8.5% dividend on its stock. The company will maintain this dividend for the next 13 years, and it's going to pay nothing after that. If the required return on this stock is 10.3%, what is the current share price? Now, we can do this in multiple ways. Doing it simple, calculate present value of a 13-year annuity with a discount rate of where are you? 10.3%. And dividends of, oh, the problem's right here. Why do I go back up? 850. But that's kind of too much. We're going to solve this using the not bond value, dividend growth model. This time I know 13 years of dividends, okay? And we're going to solve for uh, market value. Our required rate of return is 10.3. I'm going to come back to that. Year. This time I need 13 years of dividend. By default, this template comes with 1 year of dividend, but using this plus button here, I can add inputs as much as I want. I need. And they are all going to be 850. So let me copy and paste the values. Okay. One thing you need to know, what's the terminal growth rate? After year 13, What happens to the dividends? What's the year 14 dividend in this problem? How many dollar in dividends you're going to get in year 14? No, that's year 13. On year 14, you get nothing, right? Because it will cease paying dividends, correct? So when something goes from a positive value to zero, what's the growth rate of that? You had 13, you had $850. Now you have nothing. How much of your money you lost? What percentage of your money? How much? Minus 100%. So if dividend suddenly goes to zero, terminal growth rate is negative 100%. Okay, just read off the value. Okay, or which is going to be the same thing as on this output, present value of known dividends. That's going to be the value of the company. Sometimes actually companies issue securities like these. Uh, they say, I'm going to pay you dividends uh, for the next 13 years, but I'll pay you nothing. They can issue another security that say, I'll pay you nothing for the first 13 years, but after that, I'm going to pay you eight and a half. Can we, for example, figure out what that is? If that's the case, okay, I'm going to add one more year of dividends. I know year 14 is going to be 850, but the first 13 years are going to be zeros, right? But this time, terminal growth is zero because starting year 14, I'm paying 850. After that, I'm going to keep it the same. So that security would be worth 2862, for example. Or I'm actually thinking about this. I have an old colleague who runs a portfolio management and brokerage firm back in Turkey, and he's asking me to create some financial products like these. This is one of the things I'm gonna tell him. Let's say we're talking about a given stock, and every year this uh, the first security will say every year it's going to pay the earnings for the first 5 years. After that, it will pay nothing. And the second security is going to pay the earnings. It's going to pay zero for the first 5 years. After that, it's going to pay all of the earnings. And you can go ahead and figure all of that out because some people want to invest into